Part 2. My mother-in-law tried to wear a wedding dress to my wedding, so I had security escort her out. Now my husband's family is demanding I pay for the emotional damage I caused her, but they don't know what happened that day. The security team, thank God, was already moving to intercept her. I watched as head of security, Mike, a former military officer I'd specifically hired for this possibility, approached her with 2 other team members. What happened next was something straight out of a reality TV show, but worse, because it was my actual wedding day. What happened next was something straight out of a reality TV show. Sarah threw an absolute tantrum that would have put a toddler to shame. Her screams could be heard all the way in the bridal suite. "How dare you stop me? Do you know who I am? I am the mother of the groom." She tried to push past Mike, but he stood firm, his military training evident in his calm but authoritative stance. "Ma'am," he said firmly, "we have strict instructions about dress code. You cannot enter wearing a wedding gown." "This is not a wedding gown," Sarah screeched, despite wearing a dress that literally had bridal collection tags still hanging from it. "This is a formal mother of the groom dress. You're discriminating against me. I'll sue this entire venue." She then started crying, huge theatrical sobs that had mascara running down her face. "My baby boy is getting married, and his cruel, controlling bride is keeping me away. I had no idea this dress would be inappropriate. I'm being treated like a common criminal." By this point, several guests had gathered to watch the spectacle. Sarah, noticing her audience, turned up the dramatics even more. She fell to her knees, careful to arrange her dress artistically around her, and began wailing about how she was losing her precious son to a woman who didn't understand family values. My father-in-law Tom, who had arrived separately, attempted to reason with her. "Sarah, you knew exactly what you were doing," he said, surprising everyone. "This is their wedding day. If you can't respect that, you need to leave." This only made Sarah more hysterical. She demanded to see James, insisting that her baby would never allow her to be treated this way. But James, who had witnessed the entire scene, stood firm. "Mom," he said, his voice steady but sad, "what you're doing isn't okay. You can either go home and change into something appropriate, or you can leave. But you're not coming in wearing a wedding dress." Sarah's face turned red with rage. "Fine," she screamed. "But you'll both regret this. Nobody treats me this way and gets away with it." She stormed off, but not before creating a scene that several guests recorded on their phones. The wedding itself was beautiful, and many guests later told us they were impressed by how we handled the situation. But Sarah wasn't done with her dramatics. The next day, all hell broke loose on social media. Sarah had apparently spent the entire night crafting a perfectly curated version of events. She posted carefully edited clips of the incident that made her look like a helpless victim, along with a tearful selfie of her in the wedding dress, mascara strategically smeared. Her caption was a masterpiece of manipulation. "Heartbroken mother denied entry to only son's wedding by jealous bride." Never in my life did I imagine I would be publicly humiliated and traumatized on what should have been one of the happiest days of my life. My darling son James has been completely poisoned against me by his new wife, who hired armed guards to assault an innocent mother wearing a simple formal dress. I am devastated and suffering from severe anxiety and depression. My doctor says I may never recover from this traumatic event. I'm seeking $10,000 in emotional damages, though no amount of money can heal the wounds of being forcibly kept from my only child's wedding. Please share to spread awareness of toxic daughter-in-laws and their abuse of innocent mothers. #Justice for Mothers #Wedding Nightmare #Toxic Daughter-in-Law. The post went viral within our extended family and local community. Within hours, I was bombarded with messages from Sarah's side of the family. Her sister Karen, who I'd never even met, sent me a 3-page text about how I was Satan incarnate and had destroyed a beautiful mother-son relationship. Sarah's church friends started leaving 1-star reviews on my business's social media pages, calling me a family destroyer and mother abuser. Her side of the family quickly took up her cause, flooding our phones with angry messages. They claimed I had orchestrated the whole thing to humiliate Sarah, that I had poisoned James against his mother, and that I owed her not just an apology but financial compensation for her trauma. What they didn't know was that I had evidence of my own. My sister had kept records of Sarah's visits to the bridal boutique, including her explicit comments about wanting to show up that girl, meaning me, and remind everyone who the most important woman in James's life really is. We also had security footage of her attempting to force her way into the wedding, as well as statements from multiple guests who had overheard her bragging about her plan to steal the spotlight. I decided to fight fire with fire. I created a simple social media post with all the evidence, the boutique records, the security footage, and guest statements. I included screenshots of text messages where Sarah had admitted her plan to various family members, proving this was no misunderstanding but a calculated attempt to ruin our wedding. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Family members who had been attacking us suddenly went quiet. Sarah's social media posts mysteriously disappeared. Even her most ardent supporters couldn't deny the evidence that she had deliberately planned to disrupt our wedding. The final blow came when Tom, my father-in-law, publicly sided with us. He revealed that Sarah had been planning this for months, and that their marriage had been strained by her obsession with ruining our wedding. "I've enabled her behavior for too long," he admitted in a family group chat. "What she did was wrong, and she needs to accept responsibility for her actions." Sarah's response? She's now claiming she needs therapy for the trauma of being publicly humiliated and is threatening to sue us for defamation. But her threats ring hollow. We have truth and evidence on our side. James has made it clear that until his mother seeks real help and offers a genuine apology, she won't be part of our lives.